We are back. Dan, nice suit.
Thanks, bro. It's kind of recycled now. To be
I have the
honest.
same one.
I know you do. I
We
think
wore-
everybody here knows you do.
We wore what? Really?
Yeah.
I wear it to a couple of events.
I wear it all the time.
I think our suit talk's making Angela.
It's
more
on a
nervous.
bi-weekly. It's on a
Left
bi-weekly
out of the
rotation.
suit conversation.
Well,
Like,
you
we
look
always
great.
coordinated.
You look great. Yeah,
Black
you look great.
blazer.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you could wear a matching suit. I don't know if you want blue pinstripe like us, but
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
I'm a fan.
It's Miguel's groomsman suit.
yeah, we were
very
ushers.
nice.
We were horsemen for sure.
Horsemen, right?
Yeah.
So we have Angela Clark, Regional Vice President of MCC Mortgage Center, and you are Ontario and Atlantic, and we were talking about that. Like she gets to go to Halifax and these wonderful areas. Have you been out there already?
I've never been, so I'm
Not
excited
yet?
to go
Oh,
for
I
the
was
first
gonna
time.
put you on the spot there. Thank God you said that.
We could have talked the whole episode.
I would have
about-
asked you of some places you visited and stuff, and
I'll take recommendations if you can give me any.
I was gonna ask you for some.
Oh,
I
circle
don't know.
back.
Is it Newfoundland's included in that? I don't think I'd ever go outside of work to Newfoundland. Would you?
I would really love to go.
Really?
Yeah,
But you don't eat fish.
that's okay. I eat fish. I don't eat shellfish.
Shellfish,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I love fish, and I've heard it's the nicest group of people, in the entire world, which is a bold statement, but I've heard that from several different people.
Yeah.
And I heard that it's a very welcoming community, and it's beautiful.
I think during the COVID year, the MMS trip
They went
was
to
there,
Halifax.
right? They went to
Yeah.
Halifax.
Yep.
Yeah. I was gone already on that one, but that
I
was,
didn't win
was a
that
cool
one,
spot.
but it looked nice.
So there's gonna be a lot of like fun like TD stuff that I'm not involved in because you guys are
No,
like,
no, no, we'll
you guys are
include
like
you.
owners of TD and I was a teller. So
No,
it's
we were
like,
never
it's
owners
all
and
good.
you weren't a
Never
teller.
owners.
It's all good. It's all amazing. I'm gonna listen to it and just enjoy it, soak it all up today.
Perfect.
I don't know. You went to conference in Vancouver.
I went to conference in Vancouver and Punta Canada. I went twice.
Punta Cana was when you were still part of the branch network, though, right? Or-
Yeah, retail. Is
So-
MMS not retail?
It is, but conference is different than that's Champions, which is still pretty cool.
Right. Yes, you're okay. You're right.
And then we were in Nashville in
Yep.
2019. That would have been my last conference.
I think Nashville is one of my favorite cities in the entire world.
Yeah,
That was a lot of
super
fun.
I go Nashville over Vegas any day, personally.
Oh, me too.
Any day.
I think
too.
so. It was
Any
a lot
day.
of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We did. We were at like Morgan Wallen's bar. That was the best spot.
Wait, fourth floor Aldean's. That's where I live.
Aldean's, yeah, that's
where I
where we
live.
were. every
That's
day.
I'm
where
fourth
we
floor.
were.
I got a table in the back corner.
I think me and Mickey saw someone die there.
No, don't say that.
I think some. I think like they had
like
to
of
clear.
happiness. Like they
No,
were
I-
so happy.
Didn't they have to clear the space out? We had to like leave.
Like,
don't
they were
could've
so
swore I
happy
remember
to
this.
be there that
I
they
got
were
asked Mickey. No,
This is
no.
Like you're being facetious.
No, no, I'm being
oh,
serious.
You're
I'm
being
being
serious.
serious. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Not like.
Way to bring the mood down, Paul.
Not
Keep it
like not like a crime happened, but I just think like I don't know. I just maybe they passed out. Maybe it was a pass out. But anyways,
Maybe they saw you and passed out because you're so handsome.
that's really a good one. I
you.
doubt it. I think it was a guy, so I don't think that happened.
Or maybe you let one go and you smelt it.
That's nasty. Okay, so let's talk about Angela, our guest. Hopefully, we had enough small talk to kind of jump into it. So, you were at TD for over 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Started as a teller in Branch World.
Would you start
Yeah.
when you were 12?
Oh, thanks so much. I wish. No.
18.
How long have you been with MCC already?
About 7 months, 8 months now.
Oh,
yeah,
very-
so fresh.
very fresh.
When we
Yes.
saw her in Montreal, she was like what, 3 weeks in, a month in,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
maybe a couple
wow.
weeks in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There was a
Very
big culture
cool.
shock.
Imagine going to all those events and like just being
In your
brand new in
first
role. It's
month.
crazy, right?
That is really crazy because it's like, as much as it's like, I heard a really interesting analogy, like banker to broker.
Yep.
People think it's the same thing. It's like, if you could drive a car, you could drive any car. But I think being a MMS is like you can drive any car, but being a broker, you have to be able to like drive a rocket ship.
Yeah.
It's really different in my opinion. And
Is that your analogy?
no, it wasn't mine.
Oh.
So I cannot take credit. But the person who gave it to me likely doesn't listen to the show. So maybe
We
I'll
could
just
just
take
say it's
credit.
yours.
I'm not a liar though, Paul.
I know. I like how you preface that.
Yeah.
But they said rocket ship, like specifically rocket ship?
Specifically
Oh, okay.
rocket ship.
Sorry.
It went to my heart a little bit because I tell people all the time that I'm a passenger on their rocket ship,
You do say that. That's why I thought it was yours. So 18 years, TD, Branch World, held multiple roles. Like walk us through a little bit of, you don't got to get into the weeds because you were in Branch for, I think 8 to 10 years. I can't remember how long, maybe
Yeah.
longer. And then out of Branch, you went from branch manager to, at the time we were called sales manager, which then evolved to district manager, and then
Right.
you took one more role. So maybe walk us through like at least the last few years when we met, when you were sales manager on until she actually took a role after sales manager in CART, which you can explain to us what CART is.
Just quickly,
Sure.
did you two meet when you guys were both sales managers?
Yes. That's
Okay,
correct.
so you didn't know each other from the branch
No.
world.
No.
Okay,
No.
cool. All right.
Yeah, so I became a sales manager, so I always wanted to be in MMS. And so like this is how old I am. They used to be called Mortgage Salesforce, which is the coolest name ever. It sounded like special ops in the bank. It was really awesome. It was very small at the time. So I was actually on mat leave when the DM role came up. It was a brand new team though, so I had to grow a team out in Niagara. I inherited 3 agents at that time, 2 left in my first week, which are actually, they were part of MCC up until not too long ago. So I had to just grow a team. And, you know, to Paul's point, then I took over another team in Milton after, again, another MCC person who left. So I kind of filled in for her after. But I always really wanted to work in that world. And then like after a couple, like, I mean, you know, right? If you stay in a role too long at the bank, it can be detrimental if you want to do something after, right? Because then you're too comfortable or you've been in a role too long. And then it just kind of stopped being challenging. Like I loved that job. I would say that
That
out of
was my
best
favorite
job
job.
I've ever had in the bank.
We're talking about SM.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love
Hands
that
down.
job.
Sales manager.
I love that job.
Hands
yeah.
down, best job you'll ever have in the bank,
Yeah,
right? Like, I
it's
mean,
really fun.
Any stress aside, it was still the best job. But
a
I
hard job.
think
It's a really-
it's a hard
it's a
job
really
for
hard
sure.
job.
It's a hard job, but
Really
but
hard job.
when
But
we
you
were
have,
there,
you have to have the right personality. Like
when we were there was like 52 sales managers, I think it went up to, because they were really growing in new areas. And out of the 52, I think outside of very few left, or at least left for another job in the bank. There's very, like, Dan, I'm talking about when we were there was, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 that might have left for another job in the bank. Either they're retiring or leave. Like that was a job that people and everyone wanted that job.
Yeah.
I
Those jobs, and they don't come up often.
I remember that.
Right?
I actually do remember that a lot of people wanted it, and I think that even sometimes MMS would come up to you and say, "What do I need to do to become an
Right.
SM?" I remember that.
Which didn't happen often either.
Sure, I know, I can understand.
But it could, but didn't happen often. There might have been a handful that did that. Like I know Julie was one of them. Devin was one of them. Devin did that same thing.
Did you ever do the Salesforce, or you went from like
No.
like different roles that
Different roles, like different leadership roles that went into that
Got it.
one. And then once I realized, you know, it's time to do something different. So, you know, Paul mentioned CART. So CART was a new process they were coming out with. And like, I think that one of the things that was important to me was if they're going to have something that's going to impact MMS, because like I'll tell you this right now, whether you're an agent, whether you're an MMS, I just have a very big appreciation for people that can do this job. It's not easy. You know, it's as lucrative as it is because it's not easy, right? But it's such a cool world to live in. I just think that, you know, especially at the bank, there's a lot of, you know, red tape. And so it's very helpful that if you can be somebody who's been in the field and actually have an opportunity to be on the other side as they implement things, like then that was maybe what my next opportunity had to be, right? So I did that.
What does CART stand for? Do you know?
So credit application review team. I would hope I know if I worked
No,
there,
I'm
right?
just asking.
So it was like an upfront document compliance, right? So
like the triage thing. That
There you go, triage.
Okay,
That's
so-
the best. That's the best comparison. I don't know if she's gonna like that comparison,
Why?
but that is the right comparison.
But is it? But that was a team. That was when I was in MMS.
it was a team.
It's
I'm gonna like
cyclical,
no
though.
comment on the triage part, but I think
I just pinched the nerve there.
there
I love
was
that.
there was a lot of things that, you know, it was a pilot. I was on this pilot for a year, so obviously it made sense to go in then and be part of that. And actually one of my peers now at MCC, so the RVP in the West, Lisa Matthew, was actually my peer on that pilot as well.
Wow.
As a DM. So we kind of, you know, we were on that roller coaster together for a while. And then we both stayed in that role for about a year. But then it got to a point where it was just kind of like, I did what I thought that I was set out to do there. And then for the first time in my career, I didn't know what my next job was going to be. And that was a weird feeling, because I feel like every other job you get, whether it's retail or what, you know, as a DM, you're already preparing for that next role. I literally had no idea. I knew what I would want to do, but what would have been an opportunity
I
that
love
would be
that
given
feeling.
to me.
I love that feeling.
It would be different, right? So that's kind of where it ended for me there.
It's the best feeling.
What's the best feeling?
Not knowing.
Not knowing?
what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Not when you've known for 18, like for most of your career.
I know in the moment it's really hard to see that. But if you just peel back the layers of that particular circumstance, it could breed such creativity and such opportunities that don't limit you. Because if you always know what the next role is, you're effectively putting a limiting belief or a boundary around you, because you're saying like that's what it's going to be like if you were an FSR and then you're going to go be an MC, like a manager of customer service. I get it.
No, but at the bank, that's the way. That's,
That's actually how you have to do it, right?
But who says that? Who says that you have to do it that way? I was a part-time FSR and went to a full-time MMS. That's never happened.
That's
I think-
unheard of.
yeah.
You broke. Same
Right.
thing. Same with me. I was the first
Devin-
non-branch manager.
Devin
to-
went from MMS to SM to VP.
Right.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like there's
Right.
those the limiting beliefs is what people need to get rid of. Like if you say that the next role is X, that puts everything else to not be an opportunity.
for sure.
That's
Yeah.
why I think it's really exciting. What are you smiling at? Love it. Thank you.
He's ready to like put his head through a wall. That was so motivational. In this environment now, when she reflects back, probably it's exciting because it led her to
But
this.
the point is that if you're listening to this and you're in a situation where you don't know what's next and it's scary, and that's really where anxiety comes
I
from,
think
right?
it's exciting. So that it wasn't about the anxiety piece of it. When I say I needed to know what my next role was going to be, it's because I needed to know that I was going to be the best candidate that applied for that job, right? Like I didn't want to interview for a job.
But what difference does it make what the role is? You're the best candidate no matter what.
Well, it just there's certain roles that you can step into, and then there's certain roles that you would need to do like 5 other jobs in between, which is why I'm here now, right?
It's a limiting belief.
It's not limiting belief on her. It's just it's the way the hiring managers
It's the way that
look
it,
at it.
It's the way that it kind
That's
of
the
goes,
bank.
right? But that's
Maybe
the
yes,
thing.
maybe not.
That's the thing. There's like a career path that's, you know, kind of set in stone without like us saying that we wanted to follow that career path, but like it's a known, here's your next logical kind of step, right? And I've always kind of gone against the grain anyways with other roles that I've taken. But I think for this one, I don't know. I feel like I'm very thankful. Like 18 years is a long time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
spend
time.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And had I not been given the opportunities I was given, whether it was, you know, in order of like my choosing or someone else's choosing, I was super lucky to work with some really great people. And, you know, it all kind of comes full circle and then it leads you to where you're supposed to go. But like, you meet like lifelong friends there. Like I spent half my life there, right? So like these people are at your wedding, at your kids' baby, like your baby showers, your kids' birthdays. Like it's a big part of your life. And I think that the best thing for me now when I look back is I left on like a really high. Like I felt like I actually like did something. I'm like super thankful for the opportunities. And you know, I don't want to leave somewhere where I'm emotional. Like there are people that leave an organization because they're upset and it's like a knee-jerk reaction. I never wanted it to be like that. Like I actually wanted to take 18 years of experience and use it like the way that it should be used, right? And then know that you're making like a non-emotional decision, actually like a strategic one, right? Not limiting yourself. See, you're here to give me advice today.
So you're in that situation. You feel like you accomplished running the pilot. Everyone's in a good spot, and then. Was broker always something on the agenda, or the broker world? Sorry.
Broker world for sure. So, you know, I did like exploratories and stuff within TD. Obviously, you know, Devin, great support, like to have those conversations. Sophia as well. Like everybody has always been a really good, you know, research resource. I knew Rich Spence, our president of MCC, for a few years actually. And, you know, same thing, picked his brain for like a couple years, but I was never really ready. And the RVP role wasn't actually in play at the time.
It was a newer role, yeah.
So I was scared, right? Like you're going from a DM role and it's like, like now I have to go be like a broker, like, you know, and like it's really hard to wrap your head around that and the risk, and you're leaving a great job as a DM and all this kind of stuff. But I think that the best part was like when you know you know what I mean? Like this time, it just like, it was like kind of serendipitous, like for like lack of a better word, right? Like he called one day and we were chatting and he had mentioned this role, and I was going to Europe for a couple weeks and I said like, let me think about this. But I kept sitting there thinking, for the first time, I'm thinking the worst that's going to happen is that I'm going to say no. And then I'm going to regret not doing it, right? And that was the first time I ever felt that way. So I'm really glad that the way it happened, and obviously that I had already known him before, because it's really like to make that change, you have to trust people that you're willing to cut that cord for, right? And so that's like the one thing that I can honestly say that made it an easy, it wasn't an easy transition by any means, but like made it more comforting to not be so panicked and have that fear. But if you're not scared, like it's not really as exciting anyways, right? Like you should be scared.
One of our last guests said, when you think that you can go back to your old job, it's not a positive. I don't know if that's like, I think a lot of people, as I'm sure as you're recruiting a lot in your role, you can, you know, if it doesn't work, you can always go back to the bank. Was that something that ran through your head? Like, if it doesn't work, I can always, like, TD loves me, I can go back?
I mean, you think you'd like to think that as like a comfort, right?
Right.
I think for me, it was more so I never want to come back. Like, especially if you leave on your own accord. I don't mean that it would like, I don't mean it. I mean,
Props. Make sure when
I
you
don't-
props it, there's some fire
if
going
I'm
off there.
already giving, I'm not
Don't-
giving
don't-
myself
don't
a
even
chance.
don't even say where you're,
I'm
like-
not giving myself a chance if I'm already looking for like the escape route,
Yeah.
right? Like,
like,
when I went into a
jump
DM
in.
role, I knew nothing about that role. Like, it was a very humbling day one. I can
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you that. Like, you
Oh,
go
yeah.
from branch
I went-
manager thinking I do like all of these mortgage reviews all the time. First
Yeah.
day I get one question, top performer, and I'm like, where's the bat line?
took a
Like, who do
beating.
I
Yeah,
call,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Cass.
it's no different here, but I think that that's a really
That what it's called?
important thing is to be humbled by
Bic.
it, right? Like,
Bic.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Bic here.
What does it stand for?
Branch
Information.
Information Center.
That's right.
We can't. One goal that we made when we started doing the podcast is at the beginning we used to say all these short words, and we're like, okay, we got to just really.
Yeah, we have a lot of
like,
jargon.
Even you know, when Paul was moving over, you know, I was already here for 6 months. Janice was here for years, and you're coming from a place where you know everybody that
Yeah.
has the key, and you can send one email, you can pick up the phone, you can
Yeah.
make one call, and that's a scary feeling that's when it's taken away from you. It's a scary feeling, but once again, an opportunity to
Yeah.
you know build new relationships and do that. And I think that both you and I are on the same page, like you. We wouldn't be where we are today without TD Bank.
100%.
And they spend so much money, time, and effort on training, coaching. Like, you know, I don't know how other banks are. I've never worked at any other bank. Have you? No.
I have not. No.
Have you?
No.
No. So I don't know how like their development works, but TD is top notch for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
So how are you enjoying it this far?
I love it. Like, I mean, it's definitely a different, right, role. Like I was telling Paul earlier, we were talking, you're so used to like the email type of day, right? Here, everybody's on the phone, it's face to face. And it's interesting, right? Because like especially with COVID, like I was home for a very long time. So this is such a nice thing to go out and people are so exciting. And I think they're like this level of support you get, even though like even across, right? So like DLCG in general. So you have like mortgage architects, you have MCC, and then you have DLC. But like just the sheer impact of how many people are like rooting for you and like offer their support without you having to ask is incredible. Like it's awesome. Like every day you're just like, I don't know where I'm going or like, where to look for things the way that I did at the bank because you're so, trained to do those things. But that's what makes it fun, right? It's like, oh, I found a new way of doing this, or I found a new resource. So that all makes it more exciting. You're not complacent anymore, right?
The broker community is amazing.
Yeah.
Really welcoming
Phenomenal.
community. Really,
Yeah.
really welcoming community. Like really welcoming community.
So why don't you share a little bit about like your role? I know you kind of debriefed me, but maybe just for the listeners. So as RVP of MCC Ontario Atlantic, what does the day-to-day consist of, and what are the metrics that are important for you?
Yeah, like I mean, the beauty of his day to day is different, right? So every day, and I think like because I'm still in like that learning stage, right? Like I can't go out and offer training to somebody if I don't know what I'm showing them. So a lot of it has been a lot of learning. Step one obviously is just to get to know all the people that are in my portfolio, right? So like I have Ontario and Atlantic. I haven't made it out there yet, but I will, and I'll let you know where to eat once I come back.
Thank you.
But just really getting to know who these people are, and so that way when you're looking for from a recruitment standpoint, Paul and I would probably attest to this very much, just because we did so much recruiting in the DM role too, is I want to make sure that if I have somebody that trusts me the same way that I trusted Rich, I'm putting them in the right fit for where they're supposed to go, right? You can't be like a self-serving type of recruiter in that way. Like I want to make sure that if that person is going to cut a cord that they've been like with for 20 years of their life, that they feel super comfortable and it's going to be a smooth transition for them and that they're ready, right? So that would be like one big thing that obviously is a focus. Then the training piece, so whether it comes to, products or platforms that we use or tools, and then obviously like events and meetings and just keeping people engaged. I think the nice thing is to be that extra level of support. And because this is a new role, it's refreshing maybe for some people, or just reminding people of what's available and really what the brand offers. Like I think, one of the biggest realizations was like our head office, like small and mighty, but like mighty, right? Especially when you come from an organization that is as big as it was. And then I look here and like even just the sheer market share and stuff, I'm thinking like, but like small and mighty, like they're so efficient. And so there's a lot to learn from them too, right? And so, yeah.
So I think you jumped into a lot about how the transition's been, your role, why you made the move. Was there a clear cut on why MCC, or was it the role that spoke to you? Like when you said that broker was interesting, was there a specific thing? I know Rich, you kind of talked about it, like that comfort with him and guiding, and it being a new role, that's also exciting but nerve-wracking as well. So you got to put some creativity. But outside of that, was there any other deciding factors as you were doing this exploratory, or was it like this is just, it feels right and that's what
like it felt right for sure? I think that the nice thing too is there's a lot of familiar faces, right? Like within MCC, and background on MCC, like it was owned by a bank before, so maybe there is a little bit of like that culture that kind of feels similar, but it's that entrepreneurial side, right? Like I think like at the bank, everybody has to do kind of one way, same way, which is actually like their tagline, right? Like, it's like everybody's doing things the same way. The beauty of it on this side is I love listening to people's stories, like where they came from, like what their background was and how they do their business. And, everybody gets to actually, like when you look at a market that's so saturated, like there's so many agents, like just like realtors, but people don't choose Paul because he's at DLC. People choose Paul because he's Paul, right? And so it's awesome to watch how different people are doing their business and learn from them. And then kind of, I get like this scope of having all of these people that I kind of pay attention to. And then maybe I can pull from those different experiences and help other people that are starting out or people that are moving banker to broker. So that's kind of the cool part about it. But like from a deciding factor, I did a lot of research. Like it's not like this was not like an overnight decision, but like I know you and I had talked before too, right? And like you just know, and you need to make sure that you ask all the right questions. But it felt right. Like I didn't, I didn't doubt, well, I doubted it. Like, I mean, you're scared.
Well, you're always going to be, yeah, for sure.
But no, it definitely, I'm very happy with that choice for sure.
That's amazing. What's the biggest learning or myth buster since joining the broker side?
I would say there's probably two. So one, that it's the Wild West, and two, that you're by yourself, right? So, and like really, like when you're an MMS, right, you have a team, right? You have a team, you have a DM, you have BIC, you have like all those people. You're by yourself, but you're not really by yourself. And when I look at like broker side, I was scared. Like I was the only one over here. I'm like, who do I go to, right? But you're not by yourself. Like I'll never forget my first day, one of the agents sends me like a video text. It's like, welcome. If you need anything, I'll help you. And I would just sat there like, no one's ever sent something like this to me before, right? Yeah. So people are proactively coming to support you. So I think you're really not by yourself. If anything, you have like a bigger, group of people like to use as resources. And then from a Wild West perspective, I would say, it's just less tape. So maybe like, for like somebody who was at the bank at the time, you think it's the Wild West, but like it's just so entrepreneurial. It's just less hierarchy, more hustle. Like if that makes sense, yes. Right? Yeah. So that's kind of what I would say was my biggest learning, right? And like I have even more of an appreciation now. So fangirling continuously about
less hierarchy, more.
I'm
hustle.
always fangirling.
Yeah. There's our title. Less hierarchy, more hustle.
That's really good.
Jump in, please.
I'm continue with your line of questioning.
Come on,
senor.
Come on.
What do you got there?
Senor, my Spanish?
You might as well be. I think, a little bit of yourself at least.
No. No. This is the last question. No, I don't mind Spanish. I'm sorry. I was getting the questions.
I'm not worried.
No, I know, but for any of our Spanish listeners.
Any of our Spaniards.
Right.
Strength and honor.
Anything you want to jump in on the story? You're good? You're feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
So one of your jobs, as you said, was recruitment, obviously retention as well. People must be reaching out to you as you left that were at the banks or other banks or through your network. What's the advice piece? Because I think we talked about this earlier. Not everyone's ready to move.
Right.
There's lots of people I'm sure that you meet with, and even when I'm talking to folks, not everyone's ready to move. Some people have it either they're in really good situations or just their business mix isn't one that's going to thrive on this side. Because not everyone's business mix thrives on this side, right? And you see that firsthand with, right? If you're getting a lot of stuff from internal partners, branch, FPs, all this other type of financial planners, it's not going to work. But what is the advice to anyone that's at a bank that's looking to join the Wild Wild West?
I would say like don't underestimate your brand. Like you built that brand, right? Like there's a difference between loyalty and appreciation, right? Like you can be loyal to a brand, but your number one brand should be you, especially as an MMS, right? Because that is an entrepreneurial role. I would say, we all just said, like we wouldn't be sitting in this room together if it wasn't for having the opportunities we had at the bank. But I think that people are always scared, like, what if I leave and then my customers don't follow? But like, why wouldn't they follow you?
Your phone number, just get new customers?
Right. True. They started somewhere, right? I think that would be one piece for sure. Don't underestimate the skills you have and the brand that you build. And also when you look at like someone recruiting you, that means like your reputation already precedes you. So like give yourself a little bit of credit that somebody already heard who you are and they want you to come work with them, right? So like take that opportunity to do your research. Don't jump at the first one that comes to you either, right? But go out, like from all of us that are ex-bankers, whether it's like friends or TD people or RBC, it doesn't matter. But there's so many different people that can say, this is what the hardest part was, or this is maybe why I wish what I had prepared ahead of time. But you need to know what to prepare. Right. It's not just like, you're not going to mentally be prepared overnight. Like if you're an MMS, like you got to figure out, how do I make sure that this transition is the easiest that it's going to be? But you also have to know, what are the other things that you want to get out of it? Like, do you want to be able to have different streams of income? Because here you can, right? Or like, what are the different potential opportunities that you can be part of? What does it all look like to you? It all just like, you got to figure out what you want and how you're going to get there and do that research for sure.
That's a great answer. You have been out of it for a while, so it's easier to say like, just come over and make the jump.
I don't say that. I don't say it like
not lightly
like that.
No, I know.
I just think that in life, you know, there's different opportunities, and if you say to yourself that, again, going back to this limiting belief, like, why are you putting a boundary on you that doesn't exist? And ultimately, if you're an MMS making over $250,000 a year, which is, I think, a lot of MMSs, I would say at least 50% of MMSs do 250 plus. You know, your tax bracket's high. You have red tape around your marketing. You have red tape around your staffing,
social media.
Yeah. So like, you know, just incorporating alone, right, and taking a grip over that, you know, can save you thousands of dollars. And also could do really important planning. If you have a family, you know, you buy some insurance in the corp, have the corp pay for the insurance. You know, as you kind of develop in the business, you know, you can scale your business more or less depending on you. You don't have like, you know, you don't have a hierarchical bank telling you what you need to do and when you need to do it, and you're not getting silly emails because, you know, a customer sent you a pay stub over email. You know, like right. There's like, I understand and the importance of having everything digitally secured, and we practice, like, you know, encryption and things of that sort. But like, you know, to be punished over that is just something that I don't really think is incredible.
But I think that there's value in that too, though, right? Because I mean, like, if you fast forward to like being an owner and stuff, like that compliance piece, like obviously is gonna matter, right? But like, I get what you're saying is that maybe the calories spent on certain focuses like could be realigned. I do think though that it's like, you have to look at it like a graduation, right? Like,
I agree.
Eventually you outgrow a role that you're in. So you're eventually going to plateau or be able to, you can only grow so much with the tools that you're given. And I feel like on this side, you know, there's so many more opportunities to grow, and like, you know, teams or be a franchise owner, whatever the case may be. So it's just, you got to kind of take a look at it like, okay, I've done what I can do. I've hit my plateau, and now I'm graduating into broker. That's the way I always looked at it. Once your book gets to X amount, you know?
I agree.
I'd like to get both your opinions on this, because what I've been hearing a lot lately, anyone coming from the bank thinks they're going to come over and do less volume as a broker. What are your thoughts on that?
You want me to answer first?
Yeah, I just, how many times do we hear where we say, oh, even if I come over and I do half the volume I'm doing, I'll still make more money. Like, is that the right approach?
No, but that's like, I don't know if I'm the perfect guy to answer a question like that.
No, you are, because you came over and did exponentially more. And so has Mickey, so has Miguel, so has Carlo.
But, you know, people are in different stages of their lives and different stages of their businesses, right? So it's important to understand, what do they want? Like, what are they looking to achieve from, for example, the move, right? Like is the plan to try to keep the same level of income, like net income in your jeans, but work half the amount?
Yeah, totally fair.
Or is the plan to work the exact same amount working at the bank, but increase the production by 50 to 100%, right? So like, I think to answer your question in the best way possible is that there are more opportunities to do more business on our side. Like, just objectively speaking, there's more lenders, there's more opportunities, different types of deals that we can do, independent of your traditional, like, you know, bank deals, and you can help more customers, and you can be a solution-based broker, which is more of a business owner really than like a transactional type of person. I I think it's really interesting when you have a person coming over that receives a lot of business internally, from wealth and branches and things of that sort. But again, that's an exciting opportunity for you to go out there and develop other skills that you may not have, while still, nurturing those opportunities, because not every customer is going to fit with the bank as well. And ultimately speaking, some folks want to be at the bank, and they enjoy that structure, they enjoy that brand, and they should do that. They shouldn't be pushed to move over because there's more money or more opportunity or more freedom or whatever it is that they want. Like, you got to be comfortable in being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And some folks are not comfortable being uncomfortable. So
that's true.
It's fair. I mean, and I think you raise a good point, right? Like, if you can have that much success with only one lender, like, it would be impossible for you not to get, like, think about how many deals you lose to a competitor, right? Like, when you only have one brand that you can, send that deal into. So now you have all of these other options. I feel like if you keep doing the same output, like, your production is only going to increase, because now you're not going to lose it to somebody else. You're going to just place that deal with a different lender that will okay it, right? Like,
the truth of the matter is, you don't need a lot of referral partners to do $100 million. I think that with 4 to 5 like producers that do themselves, like on their end, like they're on as realtors or accountants or whatever, around 20 ends themselves. You have 4 or 5 of those, plus a couple B guys or girls that do 10 to 15, and then some C people that do 1 to 5 deals. If you have that kind of group of referral sources and you nurture your database, I think you could do $100 million. Do you agree?
I agree with you, and I love the ABC referral reference to Steve Gregory. Great guy.
No, that's you, no?
No, it's Steve Gregory. I can't take it. The rocket ship and the Steve. Yeah, remember the amygdala? Yeah.
So like,
no, I agree.
And I think it, like, when I became an MMS, I remember I was on the highway. I just became an MMS. I was talking to Paul on the phone. I said, I'm going to do $100 million. Like, I'm going to do it. And he's like, yeah, you're going to do it, but take your time, like, do whatever. But at that time, $100 million, that was like the dream.
Yeah.
I was like, you do $100 million, you're like the GOAT.
Yeah.
And like today, it's still very impressive, but that number for a lot of people is a lot higher than that, because you can, and you can build a beautiful process that, is so yourself, and it's got all of yourself in it, and people feel that. And it's an opportunity to just really, get out there and develop and meet new people and help new people and not limit yourself.
Yeah,
I agree. It's a good answer. Any questions or any thoughts for us?
No, I mean, I'm just happy you guys had me here. Thank you.
It's a pretty good time on the pod.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good time. Yeah,
it was
my first podcast.
Really?
Was it?
Yeah.
Well,
I think you're just gonna be invited to all kinds after this.
So now you're like, this is normal for us. Like, we'll do something and then the whole world will do it. Bold statement.
He said it.
Very bold statement.
I feel like there's a lot of almost every broker has a podcast now. So
but you came all the way from Grimsby to
I
see
did.
us, we thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
she was closer to the U.S. than to us.
That's for sure. You frequent like often? Like, do you go grocery shopping?
I
in the
used
States
to
and stuff?
go over when the dollar was better,
Right.
but I mean, now I kind of stay on this side,
That
right?
makes sense, yeah.
To where, like Trader Joe's? Like what's
Costco?
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
For sure, because
Yeah.
that's the closest one. I don't know where there's a close
that
Costco
did not
over the
work
border.
here, Sam's Club.
Not
for
at
some
all.
reason. I think it lasted like a year.
My parents loved Sam's Club.
You could get day passes to it. You can't do that anymore now. So now I don't want to buy like
Like a membership.
Yeah, like I already I should have shares in Costco already. Like I can't
Yeah.
have 2 of them now. Like
That's
one
fair.
of
That's fair. Yeah, they
Sam's
loved it.
Club and Target didn't work here,
Target, no good.
Target was not a big win here.
but like everyone loves Target to go to the U.S.
I
know
don't
what
really
else
have
they
too
don't-
much experience in either Canadian or American Target.
I don't know what else. There's a lot of things that haven't worked here that were U.S., but it's okay. We're all good. We're still waiting for. Oh, never mind. There is a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, there's one in Burlington now. I saw
There's one
actually.
in Woodbridge.
I've never had it. Have you had it?
It's the best.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had it in the States only.
yeah.
Good?
Not
So good.
It's good. It's not like something that I want to have all the time.
Like, you're not excited about it?
It's not as good as Hattie B's in Nashville. I don't
I
know
love
if you came
Hattie
for
B's.
lunch that
Yeah,
day.
but
Hattie
I
B's
went.
different. It's a different.
I know it's
different.
spicy. I almost died when I
Hattie
ate it.
B's.
I almost died when I ate
I
it.
love Hattie B's.
It's too spicy for
Well,
me.
you could choose. You
You don't like
love
spicy?
No.
Paul doesn't like anything.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead. Say it. Max wants to hear it.
Olive oil, salt, pepper. You're good. And
American?
honestly, don't put the pepper on. Just leave the pepper on.
Anything European or
I don't know if it's anything European, Paul. It's
Okay.
not anything European.
Portuguese, Greek, Italian?
Yeah, but you like the main street. Like, you're not eating like moussaka and stuff, you know?
the hell- what's
there you
that?
go. You're not eating that.
You said you went to Europe. Where were you?
Croatia.
Croatia.
Oh, wonderful.
My sister's been. I heard really good things.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
And mainly fish in Croatia, right?
Lots of fish, lots of shellfish.
Yeah.
And lots of like fried fish, whatever, so you'd be fine. But yeah, like it's awesome. It's
Food
just
was
really
good?
super hot, like
Yeah.
super
When did
duper
you go?
hot.
In July?
We went last year in July, the year before we went in August.
Oh, so you go a lot. Are you Croatian?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So Clark is your married name?
Yes.
So what's your maiden name?
Stipik.
Yeah, there it is. There's the
IC,
Croatian
yeah.
name. Right?
Beautiful. I heard it's a beautiful country.
It's super nice. Yeah. I won't go this year, maybe next year, but this year we'll might take a break.
Take a break.
Do you guys
Yeah,
have a place
for
there?
No, we do like a lot of Airbnbs. So like
go from city to city.
yeah, like so you fly in and then just drive all down the coast, try like 5-6 different Airbnbs, different cities.
Nice.
Kids are pretty good that way traveling and
Yeah, they're old
just
enough
enjoy
now.
different beaches, see different
Beautiful.
scenery, see family when you're there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get your like citizenship?
No, I like it's on my to-do list. You know, when you write like a to-do list every day, my personal one tends not to get done. So that's been on that list rewritten for about 2 years. So
Are you born here?
I'm born here, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But I think Croatia, it's still relatively easy to get it, from my understanding.
Yeah, it would be fine. Like the rest of my family has it, so it'll be easy for me to
very
get
good.
it. I'm the only one born here, so I should.
Wow.
Yeah.
Italy is like impossible to get now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nothing's impossible, Paul.
Right. I don't want to set the limitations, but the consulate has said it's very hard.
I don't know. I don't.
I'm
I
gonna
don't,
bring
I
you
don't
there
wanna,
with me. I'm gonna bring
I don't
you there
want to
with me.
say. I don't want to.
get
I don't
it.
want to. I don't want to say anything offside, but I think a Manila envelope solves a lot of problems.
Is that what I'm doing to the Italian consulate? I'm gonna take your advice for it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a problem. I think you're good.
Well, I appreciate it.
Just make sure it's not too light, and you're good.
Got it. That's a good way to end. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks
We had
for
a
having me.
blast. And until next time, thank you guys.